Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I've got a great show I'm so excited to share with you today, and I'm calling it, Hey Friend, in life, if you don't risk anything, you risk everything. All right, I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned. Let's get started with today's show. To say, some people seem so unwilling to risk anything, which makes me think that they're missing out on some real opportunities in life. And I'm not advising you to do something crazy or something that would cause your family harm, but what I'm wondering is about why so many people always feel the need to play it safe on the shore, never venturing out into the waters of life. And why are so many afraid of stepping out and testing the water? Have to say, what I find so interesting is that it's usually not a financial issue that has so many people living and dying from boredom. So don't get caught up in the money excuse, because it appears to be more of a matter of self-doubt, not believing in your ability, not trusting your instincts, and generally questioning your self-worth. You're probably familiar with the saying, a ship in the harbor is safe. But that is not what a ship is built for. I understand that there are some times in life when you need to stay in the harbor, heal a broken heart or a broken life, but once healed, then you'll be well enough to choose your next destination, or you'll decide that you want to stay safely where you are. For some, that's fine. It is what it is, as they say, and there's nothing I can say or do that will ever convince you to leave the safety of the harbor to discover the bright lights and big cities that are waiting to be revealed on the other side. If you're happy in the harbor of life, let's not risk leaving the shore. It's not for everyone. But if you yearn for the salt life of a new adventure and opportunity, then get ready to pull up anchor and set your sail to unknown waters that are beyond the safety of the harbor. If you've listened for any time or you've read my books, you know I love the ocean. I'm a student of the sea. One thing I know in life is, for most of us, the waves are so considerably larger than any boat we have. And only with the weathered, worn-time, adaptable skills of a sailor will you be able to ride the wave to the safety of the next harbor. I fully understand that it seems easier not to risk anything, but I have to wonder if skirting some of the issues that you need to address in your life will play havoc in the way that could risk everything for you if you're not careful. Yes, sidestepping your responsibilities is easier in the short run, but life isn't a short run. For many of us, it's a long, slow jog to the finish line. So the new year is just around the corner. And as I think about my theme today, I want to touch on a few ideas for what I believe is an amazing life that might be a little risky, but where I think the risk is worth the reward. When we think about risk, many people take it to the extremes of tightrope walking or skydiving, but I'm not going to go that far out on the ledge. What I really want to focus on is really 3 ideas of risk that I believe could be life-changing. Number 1, take a risk with the words you need to say to yourself or to someone else. You have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of willingness. Number 2, take a risk on your intuition. That's that gut instinct that many times will drive you to success. And 3, take a risk on making a change in your life. Because you are worth it. When I talk about taking a risk with words you need to say to yourself or to someone else, it's not an easy task because it forces you to open your heart and be upfront with your needs. I'm going to start with family. Some of you are going to endure a miserable holiday due to the mean-spirited family member who will take their issues out on you and everyone at the table. But this year, consider taking a risk and shutting them out by not inviting them or shutting them down because you've had this conversation with them in private. So you've already set expectations and don't allow them to ruin it for everyone else. Hey, it's your house, it's your rules, and your number one rule is to be kind to each other while in your home. By the way, either you're going to win or they are going to win this one. I mean mean-spirited people versus the rest of the table of happy enough people who are actually grateful for friends and family. Risky? Yes. The right thing to do? Well, friend, you'll need to decide in advance and weigh the options. But let me give you a little piece of advice. Write out what you want to say, practice it so you can speak with power, and you have a copy of what you said when they decide to misquote you, which they will. I have never understood the fairness for the rest of the family if one or two members always feel the need to act out. Hey, tough love is never easy, but some people need a splash of cold water of reality to learn a lesson. I also want to remind you to consider the idea of using positive affirmations for yourself. Choose to be kind to yourself. Remember, your body hears everything you say to yourself. If you're always negative and unkind, what do you think that does to your body's flow and the work of your organs? Listen, study after study have been conducted on the words and thoughts you say and think and how that affects you. Friend, there is no risk in believing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God knew you before you were born. In the book of Psalms 139:16, it says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Hear me, there is no risk in speaking positive words of love and kindness to your soul. Some today listening are so dry inside that it might take a river of tears to heal the parched and broken ground. But no tear will be wasted if it is used to nourish and refresh the soul. Take a risk. Speak the loving words you need to say to yourself or to someone else. And please say it out loud. You know the words I'm asking you to consider. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? Let's work together on this. I love you. Together, we can get to the bottom of the issue. Letting conversation slide or not bringing up important issues could be dangerous if in the end the damage of omission is greater than the hard-fought conversation to make it right. Next, I would really like you to consider taking a risk on your intuition. All right, I like a few TV shows, and one of them is Shark Tank. And I love to see all the ideas that people have and are looking for funding to get off the ground. Hey, listen, going on the show is a risk, but it's that one brave person who is willing to see if they can convince one of the sharks to become a business partner. I know many of you listening have this one great idea for creating or improving a product or a new invention that simply needs more of your time and attention to bring it to life. Trust that your gut instinct will drive you to success if you're committed to the end product. I have a saying on my desk that I read often when I find myself in a slump and I don't know how to move forward, and it goes like this. Our Father, which to me is my heavenly Father, does not inspire us to do that which cannot be done. I noticed that on an upcoming program, Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul was a guest. And one of his topics is the belief that you are not given a dream without the power to fulfill it. Risky? Yeah. Rewarding? More than likely. I am fascinated by the power of intuition because I've seen it bloom into success in my own life. And I am sure there are times when you've seen it come true in your life. The seed I want to plant in your mind today is to focus on the growth of your idea. And as you know, for some to grow, you're going to need to give it more attention, your wholehearted attention to its successful outcome. So, Let me encourage you to make this year the year you take the risk for the reward. And finally, I am asking you to take a risk and make a change in your life. Making life changes and choices is a risky proposition. There's always a chance it might not work out as planned, but then again, there is just as much a chance and opportunity that it will. And then that outcome will be a blessing and benefit for all. I am one to believe that you can do most anything you put your mind to. Friend, you have more power than you know if you'll just learn how to use it to your advantage and for your advantage. For the past 3-4 years, I have been a vocal reminder that, friend, you got value and you have worth. And if you will step into the light, I believe you'll find your path forward by doing what you're called to do. I was reminded a while back when someone wrote me that they decided to believe and act on my message that week that I gave, when my theme was, you may be cracked, but you're not broken. He told me that he had made some mistakes in life. He'd come to a crossroad, and he decided to stay on the path because breaks can heal. And once healed, they are as good, if not better than, before. This gentleman was willing to take a risk on himself one more time because he looked at himself from the outside in and he knew he was worth the risk. Our friend, you are worth the risk. And as we come into a new year, a new season, a new opportunity, look up to see your life and the opportunities that you have, and then move in the direction of your dreams to make something good happen, because in life, if you don't risk anything, you might risk everything. And I believe you're smarter than that, and you have a lot to offer if you'll just take the risk by giving a bit of your heart, soul, and mind to help others on their path. The rewards for all that you have, without a doubt, will absolutely be amazing. Because, friend, in life, if you don't risk anything, you risk everything. All right, that's my message today, and I believe it's a good one simply because I know that so many people are on a journey and they question the fact. Do they keep going? Do they stop? What happens next? Now remember, I'm not asking you to take a silly risk. I am asking that you look down the road and you weigh the opportunity and the possibilities and the risk and reward. And friend, move in that direction. And here's what I'd like. Stay with me through this journey so you will hear the encouragement for your amazing life. And remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you, and I care about you for a lot of reasons, and one of them is this. I am worried that if you don't risk anything, you risk everything, and you're going to come to the end of your life. You're going to look back and you're going to say, if only. So let's not do that. Let's move forward. And here's my promise. I'm going to walk alongside you as we follow your dream to success together. Why? Because I know you can do it. And frankly, I'm excited to see it happen. All right. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everybody. Join me next week for Deb Sofield's encouragement for your amazing life. Have a good one.